there's a new head football coach at Morgan State, and it's our first opportunity to catch up with him after a heck of a run for him at Bowie. He has come over to lead the Bears. It's a pleasure to welcome in for the first time to GCR, Coach Damon Wilson, who is with us now. Coach, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you. Thank you for taking the time, and congratulations on the new gig.
Hey, Glenn, I appreciate you inviting me on, and I'm excited to get started at Morgan State.
Well, let's keep it simple right off the start, right? Like why Morgan? Why now? What made this the job that you wanted to pursue?
Well, we accomplished a lot of things at Bowie State University. And, when the Morgan opportunity came up, I spoke with Dr. Wilson and the administration with our new AD in place. I really feel as though Morgan State is headed in the right direction. It's home for me. I'm a Maryland guy, so it's home, and I have the opportunity to kind of head right up the Beltway and hit another program to get it going in the right direction. So I think the timing was everything, and Bowie State has been great to me. But like I said, when I met with Dr. Wilson, I just really felt like the university is going in the right direction from an athletic standpoint.
Coach, what is Morgan football capable of being? We've certainly seen moments, and we know the history of the program, but that's not something that's necessarily been sustained in recent years. I know there's a myriad different reasons why that might be the case, but what do you believe Morgan is capable of being as a football program?
I think Morgan's capable of being a powerhouse program in the FCS. With our recruiting pool right here in the DMV area, I think we do a good job there and to help these young men matriculate in the classroom. We have an opportunity to be a very strong football program. There are other FCS programs in this area that are having success, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have success at Morgan State University.
I reference, and I'm sure you know, there has been a lot of turnover in recent years as far as Morgan coaches are concerned, and you came from a place that, obviously you had quite a bit of stability, having been at Bowie for as long as you did. Were you at all apprehensive about that, and what makes you believe that now Morgan can find more stability and you can be there and succeed for some time?
A number of coaches left for different reasons, and one thing that I'm excited about is the opportunity to be at Morgan for a while. It's not I don't look at it as an opportunity as a stepping stone and looking for the next job. I want to make Morgan the job. I want to make sure that we build what's needed in our own backyard, and I think we can sustain success with the support of the local community, alumni association, as well as the current high school coaches in the area. So I definitely think the timing is right. Like I said, the administration really wants to move this program in the right direction and get it back to where it was. And I look to sustain success. And that's something that we prided ourselves on at Bowie State University. It's not just building a good team. We want to build a program. And the good thing with the rich history that Morgan State has in its athletic program and its football program in particular, we want to tap back into that. So, I'm excited about the opportunity.
He is Coach Damon Wilson. He's the new head football coach at Morgan State, and he's with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Coach, how were you guys able to do that at Bowie State? I mean, clearly the incredible amount of success that you've had over the years. What allowed for you guys to, again, sustain, not just build a winner, but sustain a winner over the years at the D2 level?
I think a lot goes into that. Our administration has been great to us. That's the first thing. Second, my staff. They did a great job. We had some continuity within the staff, but they did a great job recruiting and making sure the young men had success in the classroom. So we weren't turning over rosters every year, and we built it the right way. And our student athletes brought into what we were preaching. They understand that, hey, I don't care who graduates. Tradition never graduates. Next man up mentality. Let's be selfless versus selfish. They brought into that mindset, and guys, take a lot of pride in putting the Bowie State uniform on, putting that suit on, and to represent our university and our community. And that's some of the same things we plan to do at Morgan State. I'm putting together, I think, a very good coaching staff that are good teachers, guys that can develop talent, and of course recruit.
Was it at all difficult for you? I mean, Coach, I know it's a jump up in level. It's an opportunity to get to Division One, and that is incredibly appealing. But you're kind of a lifer, right, at Bowie State.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
you've spent so much time there. Was it at all tough for you to move on from a place that clearly has meant so much to you?
One of the toughest professional decisions I made in my life. And I told my team that, and the reason why it was tough is because of my guys. I love my players at Bowie State University. I love where we come. I love where the direction that they're going in. And what saved me was when I had the meeting with those guys to talk through. I hadn't made a decision, but I talked through the situation with a number of the leaders. And some of the comments they said to me really, really put my heart at ease, put my mind at ease, and let me know that, Coach, it's okay. You've done enough for us here, and we're ready to roll. And we understand that if you take another opportunity. So just as having their support,
Hmm.
a lot, didn't want to see me go, but just having their support meant the world to me. And my wife is a Morgan State alumnus,
That's
and
cool.
that's so I'm able to actually coach at my alma mater and go right up the street and coach at my wife's alma mater is a blessing. So I'm excited.
That's neat. That's very neat. Obviously, Bowie, of course, also being an HBCU. Do you feel like you are maybe more uniquely prepared for a place like Morgan than perhaps some other coaches have been over the years, where you sort of understand the culture and what you need to tap into to succeed at an HBCU?
And I think that's a great question. And to answer your question in short, I do. And one thing that I do understand the culture. I do understand the dynamics of our area with regards to recruiting. I do have the relationships in the area. I think some other guys that had the opportunity it was new to them, and they had to make necessary adjustments. I've been in college coaching for 23 years now, and I've been at several HBCUs, so I understand it. Like I said, I understand the culture of the university. Of course, there's going to be some challenges with regards to meeting new people, new policies and procedures. But at the end of the day, it's still developing young people, and that's something that I would pride myself in. And as long as we put that student athlete first, we're going to be in great shape as a program.
Just another couple of minutes here with Damon Wilson, new head football coach at Morgan State. Coach, a couple years ago, in the immediate aftermath of the tragedy and George Floyd's death, it felt like there was kind of a reckoning. And there was clearly a reckoning in our country, but one of the things that came from that is it felt like there were some athletes who stepped up and said, "Hey, man, it's time for us to support HBCUs, and it's time for us to consider HBCUs." Has that continued? Have you felt that it might be easier to recruit, that there are more athletes who feel a sense of, hey, we need to do this for each other. We need to step up and go to these schools and continue to support our own community.
I think it is a change, and I think it's something that is going to continue to grow. Just as much as we educate, I think that the key is educating the student athletes early as possible on the experience at an HBCU, at the culture of different HBCUs, because the experience is going to be is different. One thing that we aren't going to allow is to separate the type of football we play. We play the sport of football. We don't play HBCU football.
Sure.
We play football, but we're going to educate and allow our student athletes to find themselves on the college campus. And I think that's part of that experience at an HBCU that you may not get at other places. But however, that football is the same football they play with everywhere in the country, and we're going to make sure we teach quality football so we can be successful, not just in HBCU conferences, but across the country.
I have no doubt that you guys dealt with some of the NIL stuff while you were at Bowie, and I'm not trying to suggest that you're going to Alabama or anything like that, but I would think that maybe there's probably going to be a little bit more of it at a place like Morgan. Can you take me through, what dealing with it has been like for you? Coach, admittedly, I'm the guy who says, and I know it probably makes coaches' lives more difficult, and my answer is kind of like, yeah, but it's still better for the students, and so I'm sorry, I just don't care. Um, can you take me through what it's been like for you, the good part, the bad part, all of it, as you've adjusted to life with the NIL and the transfer portal being the way that it is?
The NIL, man, I support it. I support student athletes being compensated for the name, image, and likeness. However, I am not a fan of student athletes doing things outside of their character to make a dollar or two. I think they should not sacrifice who they are as people just to make a dollar or two and miss the big picture. So I'm in favor of it as long as it's within the name, image, and likeness framework, and not a situation we're looking to pay to play. That's something that's very similar. But I support the student athletes being compensated. The transfer portal is a situation where you have to adjust. Not a fan of it because I know a lot of student athletes uh, may leave a university just because things got tough, and that's something that we don't want to create with this generation. In my opinion, just because things get tough, we don't necessarily have to up and jump ship. But I also understand that there are student athletes that may be in certain situations that aren't are conducive to what they're trying to get done academically or athletically. So therefore, they may have to make a change. But it's a thin line. But at the end of the day, I understand I have to. I'm going to be in the transfer portal
Mm-hmm.
recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have some guys probably go to the transfer portal, and that's the time we live in. And I just want these student athletes just not to once again jump shit when things get tough. Let's buckle down and try to and overcome, because as a dad and as a mom, at some point you may have some tough decisions to make, and we all can't just run out the house and leave everything. So that's my take on that whole deal now.
All right, and coach, before I let you go, what you mentioned you guys are you're not playing HBCU football. You're playing football. What kind of football? What should Morgan State fans and folks who want to come out to Hughes Stadium be expecting? What brand of football are they going to see from Damon Wilson's team?
We're going to be physical. We're going to be disciplined. We're going to be exciting. Defensively, we're going to fly around and make plays and play exciting football. But every day you can count on us being physical. I don't care who we're playing against, when we're playing. We're going to be physical. We're going to be relentless. We're going to be tough. We're going to be disciplined. I think if we go into a ball game against our first opponent, Georgia Southern, we go into the game being physical, disciplined, and playing selfless football. I think we'll be in great shape. And every week that we go into the field, if we take that approach, we'll have an opportunity to win a football game.
All right, Coach Damon Wilson. First of all, congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Looking forward to seeing you out there, and we will be in touch, and we'll be supporting you guys and your program and everything you do. Thank you for joining us this morning. We look forward to chatting more over the years, and looking forward to seeing what it is that you do at Morgan State.
Hey, Glenn, I appreciate you covering us.